Alright, let's talk Garmin. The next wave of their running watches is about to drop, and, let's be real, it's exactly what you'd expect. No wild surprises, no groundbreaking new tech, just Garmin doing what Garmin does best. Slight upgrades, a price tag that makes you pause for a second, and just enough new features to make you wonder if it's time for an upgrade. So, what's coming? The Forerunner 975, 275, and 275s are on the way, with the Forerunner 175 showing up fashionably late. Among them, the Forerunner 275 is shaping up to be the mid-tier pick for runners and triathletes, likely sitting in that $450 to $500 range. It also comes in a smaller version, the 275s, making it a solid option if you prefer a more compact fit for your training. Now, when can you actually get your hands on it? The earliest we could see these watches is March 2025, right in time for triathlon season. But if Garmin follows their usual release pattern, Q2, somewhere between April and June, is a safer bet. And if you're here hoping for some juicy leaks or insider info, well, you're out of luck. Garmin has been completely silent, and there aren't any sketchy factory photos floating around. But let's be honest, the Forerunner lineup has always been predictable. The high-end models get the flashy, cutting-edge features, while the mid-tier watches get a safe, sensible refresh. That's just how Garmin rolls. What's actually changing this time around? Well, don't expect anything too drastic. The Forerunner 275 is set to get some minor but useful tweaks, starting with a slightly different GNSS chipset, now supporting Beidou and QZSS alongside the usual GPS networks. Garmin is also expected to upgrade the heart rate sensor to Elevate 5, which could potentially include ECG functionality, a nice touch if it happens. Battery life should see some improvements as well, but nothing revolutionary. That said, don't get too excited just yet. There's a real possibility that Garmin might hold back some of the better features. If they treat the Forerunner 275 like a second-tier device, similar to what they did with the Instinct 3, it might end up with the older Elevate 4 heart rate sensor instead. And if you were hoping for full topographic maps, brace yourself for disappointment. Garmin seems to be drawing a hard line at the $500 price point for map support, meaning you'll likely miss out on that feature unless you go for a higher-end model. And what about those surprise extras? If you were thinking LTE, a flashlight, or some fancy new button tech, yeah, not happening. What you might get, though, is a slightly larger display on the 275s, some extra storage, because let's be honest, 8 GB for music is pretty stingy, and maybe even a built-in microphone and speaker, especially if Garmin wants to push their pricier watches in a more smartwatch-like direction. So, is the Forerunner 275 worth the price? Well, that depends. Garmin doesn't typically lower prices when releasing new models, so if this watch lands at just under $500 but lacks full maps or the latest heart rate tech, it's going to sting a little. A few years ago, that kind of price tag would have gotten you a premium-level watch. No. It gets you a mid-tier upgrade with a handful of refinements. At the end of the day, the Forerunner 275 is shaping up to be exactly what most people expect, a safe, incremental update. It's not pushing boundaries, but it's also not cutting corners. Garmin knows its market and sticks to its playbook. Keep the high-end features reserved for premium models while giving mid-tier users just enough upgrades to consider an upgrade. What do you think? Are the changes enough to make you interested in the Forerunner 275 lineup, or are you holding out for something better? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.